Okay. Les, the Junkyard Dog made an undeniable case to keep his spot in the team, so you must have been very impressed with his performance that he's stayed in the side.
Yeah, without a doubt, was one of the special moments of the season, I reckon. So the Junkyard Dog did his business, and it makes it hard to say let's put him on the bench or give him another experience, because he's only young, and I'm very careful about how I introduce young guys to the squad and the team and to this level of rugby. But the way he plays is the way he trains, is the way he lives his life. So he deserves another chance without a doubt. And obviously Mac really comes back into the picture as well.
It's hard to live up to a game like that. How do you temper expectations for a young guy when there's so much excitement and plays like that in the game?
Well, he's a fairly balanced lad anyway. Hopefully the squad keeps his head in check if it does go that way. But the one thing that allows him to do that, I think, is because he's a hard worker. His work rate is impeccable. He does the little things well, and if he focuses on doing those things, he's going to find himself in those positions before. He's got bravery, hasn't he? He just goes for things, and that's what I like about him. And as I say, one of the great qualities I saw about him when I first saw him play was he just rarely runs out. He keeps the ball alive, and he did that brilliantly for us in the weekend a couple of times. So he's got those qualities of doing the little things well. So those things will make sure that he's always in the running to making some more special moments.
And it looks like Jim said that Liner's got a mild hamstring issue. Is that just 1 week, or what's your...
We hope it's only 2 weeks max. It was just a little extension, and it's nothing major. But we have got options, and that's the beauty of it. And so it's no use risking something if we don't need to. So Lawso will come into 10. Harry, who we've managed to give him a bit of club footy, will come back onto the bench.
What about bringing Fraser back into the group? What does he bring for the team?
Well, he's freshened up, that's for sure. But Fraser has been he's been formidable this year, hasn't he? I think he's been the Form 7 in the top 2 or 3 in the competition, let alone the top in Australia. His support play's been brilliant. His presence around the breakdown's been good. I think he's been really selective and smart about what he goes for. He's really allowed us to have a really disciplined defensive line. Making strong decisions don't put us on the wrong side of the referee. But it's his support play and link play that's been really impressive as well. So he'll bring some energy. Young Johnny Bryant, who's put his shoulder to the wheel and done a fantastic job for us, will go back to the bench. But it'll be it's welcome to get someone of his experience back. We're going to Christchurch, one of the great places in the world to play rugby. His experience will be very much welcome.
Does he feel like he owes the team anything?
No, not really. He's disappointed how he's had to take a couple of weeks off for sure. But that's not in. That's not in his box of tricks about how he goes about his business. He's a good tackler. He's always low. There was just this rugby incident, which I would call it, and he's had to miss a couple of weeks, but he's been hungry. He's worked around here. He's helped the team the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Johnny Bryant and Joe Bryle have deputised for him. He's helped them out from the edges, so he's been fantastic for us, even though he hasn't played.
You talk about going to Christchurch and the challenge that awaits there. Obviously, Crusaders haven't had the best season, but at home they've been pretty strong. They're 2 out of 3, and they can be a dangerous prospect. What are your thoughts going into this one?
Yeah, I think it's not being hijacked by where they are on the ladder. They're unbelievable at home. They beat the Chiefs, I think, at home. So they've only had 3 games at home. They've got a great home run. I think every team will be very wary of what the Crusaders can offer. We've got to make sure we're aware of that. We're planning to make sure that we go there with the right business mind. Go there. We've got to be very direct. We've got to be disciplined. Be sure that we still bring our style of game into play, but be very smart about how we play. They're back into some form, aren't they? And with Barrett back and Harvili, their forward pack with the front row was fairly impressive, and it's given guys like Nichols and Siva Reese a chance to do their magic on the edge. So we got our guard up. We've put the necessary preparation to deal with them, hopefully. But at the same time, we've just got to keep making sure we do the things that make our game hum as well. So, guys like Fraser will make sure that that stays on track for us.
When arguably, just go on more. Arguably, it's sort of a bit of an inconsistent year. You seem to show some great form one week and then off the next, and last week getting pipped at the end. What do you put that inconsistency down to as a coach of this side? Is it because you've had a number of players in and out of the side?
No, I think it's how we've challenged the group, and the group has challenged themselves to really push our game on in different ways. With that comes some risk and learning, growing pains, for want of a better word, and it's put us into a couple of situations where it's been tentative. You know what I mean? To be, we're 4 or 5, are we? Something like that. Whatever we are. And we've got a positive of plus 70 or something. How does that happen? The boys are locked in, they're loaded, they play well. The losses have all been very tight. I think we got 7 bonus points, most of anyone. So we're in the hunt, and we know that these margins are important to be able to close and get on top of, and that's really an area that we know we can grow in. But to get there, you have to do some other things well. So is that inconsistency, or are we consistently getting closer to the mark and consistently playing to our strengths? I think we're only second or third on the try scoring list. There's a lot of good qualities coming through. So whilst we will address the areas that will just make us improve, we still got to make sure we don't lose ourselves down a cul-de-sac of doom and stay on the right highway that's really been driving us well in the terms of our big parts of our game that have been working well, from our set piece right through our back play.
With the young guys you've brought in, the Tims and the Harrys, have shown really incredible early signs. There was news overnight that Carter Gordon had sounded out NRL clubs, which a few seem to have, and then Rugby Australia also reporting a big financial loss from last year. With the youth that's starting to come through, just how crucial of a turning point is the way that rugby invests in these young guys to really show them that they have a 10-year future here? Yeah,
well, it starts with us, and that was big on my radar when I came here. We had the experience of a James O'Connor, whose experience hasn't been on the pitch this year, but it's been off the pitch in a brilliant way. But I was excited about what I saw. Lawson probably sits in that middle ground of experience, but young Harry and young Tom, they've got talent. They've got what I call that disposition, that sort of nature to be able to play that role. Early on in the year, they played in a pack that was going forward well. In the middle of the season, a couple of them, we weren't quite dominating as much, so they had to work out how to play that game, and they're growing all the time. So the investment from ourselves at the Red is first and foremost in these young guys to, do what we can to improve their game, to keep their confidence up, to expose them to the experiences that are necessary. I haven't just thrown them all in at once. I've made sure I've blended around good experience guys. In the last 2 weeks, we've had, Tommy manage a game. We've got 6 points out of the last 2 games, and we've had 4 or 5 key players out. So there's growth there. We can see it. And obviously everyone knows about the program we've been putting together with Wales and Tonga and the Japan tour and the UK tour. We want these experiences for these young guys, and that's what we're investing big time to make sure that it serves Australian rugby, that's for sure.
The difference between re-signing guys, like there's also reports of Hunter being sounded out for overseas. Is the difficulty with re-signing your young guys that unless Australian rugby comes to the party with bigger contracts, you guys are kind of at the mercy of overseas raids on some of your young guys? I mean, Ty has also been linked as well, and people aren't sure whether or not either of those guys are going to re-sign.
Yeah, well, good players are going to have some interest. That's never going to stop. We will consistently work with RA to make sure we get the right deals that we can, and that's all we can do. I think we've done some really special things here this year in terms of how we built the game around a new facility, our game style and all those things. We want to make it difficult to leave, and that's part of the deal as well, and that's where we'll play our part. That whole area of our retention and recruitment and the strategy behind it is something we're always working on.
Are you confident that you can, you've said multiple times that you're confident of holding on to Pattaya, but Hunter wasn't a person who was on the radar of until the last 24 hours that people thought he might leave as well. Are you confident that you can keep both of them or either of them?
Hunter's got his 50th game this year, and he's been on fire, hasn't he? So, there's no doubt that we'd love to keep him. There's no doubt about that. The right people are working on that. They'll get to the solution. I'm pretty sure it'll end up in the right place.
Have you spoken to the players about that? About investing, I suppose, in Reds rugby?
Yeah, it's part of what we've always spoke about. We want players to know that what we're trying to do with the program we can offer outside of the Super Rugby, the type of program we can offer not only with this facility, but what we're going to build here in the future, the type of coaches we've brought in to change up that picture. I know that the QRU board is very supportive of ensuring that we spend wisely to make those investments that can improve the program. They're massive parts of it as well, and for us, I think we're playing our part at this stage, that's for sure. And the young guys have grown heaps this year under the watchful eye of some good coaches, really good coaches I've got with me, and I think they appreciate that.
The evolution of Hunter as well, I can imagine it's just all the more enticing for you to really want to hold on to him. Like, I didn't really even know he had a kicking game, and now every time he puts the ball on boot, it seems to turn to magic. What have you seen in his development this year after what was a pretty difficult injury year for him last year?
Yeah, he tells me he can goal kick too, so he can drop kick. He tells me he can do everything, Hunter, and he hasn't stopped surprising me, I guess. He's a professional. He's a joy to have around the place. He's brilliant in the locker room. He still does that first roll well as a 12. He lays a line and creates a bit of quick ball in the gain line. Moving in at first and second receiver, like a second five, a genuine second five. He can blend between the two as a target player and a second five as well. Has been brilliant. That's been. I don't think it's a revelation. I think it's always been there. It's just the style of rugby you play that can open that up, and that's what we're trying to do, and grow our game to be not just possession based, but being able to play field position smart. And he's been really crucial in being able to grow that part. His kicking game's been exceptional. So the more that he brings that to the game, the better for us. He's really focused on making sure we finish this year strong. He's happy here, that's for sure, and we're pleased with how he's going. That's for sure.
So your name, you've been maybe pushing on to Joe a bit, or is his performances doing the talking itself there?
His performances are doing the talking. RA and Joe, they know, they've seen him, and we go to Crusaders land. I think he's going to be an important player for us there.
How far away is James?
It's probably closer than you think.
2 weeks? 3 weeks? Come on,
We're
Les.
saying that all week.
Yeah. Just
Look,
another 2?
The bottom line with James is I've really been keen not to just throw him out early. There's the niggles have been there. We could actually go, let's throw him into the breach. I just want to make sure, and hopefully, touch wood, that we do get to the right decision at the right time. It's very close, and I don't want to put any pressure on it. He'll be training again today with the team, and we'll see how he goes today. But I'm fully hopeful that'll be very soon.
Pretty strong rumours that he may have redone his hamstring. Did that happen?
No, did he? No, I don't. No. It wasn't a redo. It was it's your whole. I'm not going to get over technical, but your whole performance chain. It joins up in your back, your hip, your leg, your calf. Just managing through that. He's 18th season now at this level. You're always going to carry some things. His experience has been there for us off the field as much as we've missed it on the field. As you can see with the two young lads growing the way they have. So hopefully very, very, very soon we have him on pitch with us as well.
With Joe being here over the weekend and came to a session on Monday and came to a session on Friday, what did you get? I mean, there's been so much talk about alignment and all that sort of stuff going on. What did the Reds get from having him here over the weekend?
Well, he had a chance to chat to a few guys, definitely, chat with our coaches. Mike Cron was here as well, so there were some good discussions around some of those areas. Joe's very keen to make sure he just gets a handle about how all the players perform. He knows our system pretty well. It hasn't been about do this or do that. It's just been saying, how do we do our business, and let's see what what these players have the capacity to deliver through his eyes. And I think he's seen some really good clues, particularly from ourselves, the Brumbies, and I'm sure the other teams. There's been players that when they've had their big games, that he'd be impressed with. But it was good to have him here. I welcome him here, Mike, and the other coaches when they come in. It's important that we feel a connection there. So if we can start by having good rapport, good relations, good communication, then we can start to work out how we look at different parts of the game that we can possibly align. But I know Joe, when he was at Leinster and all those areas, they had a style, and you don't get in the way of a certain style that a team has. He wants that to flourish. He just wants to know who can pull together the type of game he wants at the top. And it won't be too different to a lot of things that the right teams are doing at this stage.